Brendan Arthur is back, ready to stake a claim for a shot at world glory when he takes on Argentina's Walter Gabriel Shechiera. Part of a huge night of action on Saturday, September the 17th. It's live and free on Channel 5.
This is Joe Pugh for IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. Delighted to be joined once again by John Hedges. How are you, John?
All well, Joe, yourself?
Very well, thank you. Good to be back here, back in the gym, Origin, Raynham Boxing Club. See Tommy and Chris do a bit of sparring today. But yourself, back training?
Yeah, back training, done a good SNC session with Sonny Cannon. Yeah, and just ticking over now. Hopefully a fight date very soon. Excellent.
So when are you looking to be back out? I know you can't say too much, but there's something in the works.
Yeah, I'll be out, please God, in October. And yeah, that's all I can really say so far. There's a couple of dates we've looked at, and yeah, a massive show it'll be. So it's just waiting for the announcement now.
Another knockout last time out.
Yeah.
You're building them up, second in a row. You were so relieved last time I spoke to you to get that first one. You're racking them up in the bank now, but how did you assess your performance overall?
I think it was probably my best performance to date, my last one. He undefeated opponent, took him out in the third round with a backhand, and like I say, it was a flush shot, and it was a better stoppage than the one before, so it was an improvement again. And like I've always said from the start, I think the better the opponent, the better I'll fight, and the better stoppage you'll see, because they'll walk onto something, they're not going to be so defensive and on the back foot. And yeah, so just keep developing. I've got my last 6 rounds in my next fight, and I'll be moving into 8s.
Excellent. So moving from 8 rounders, then hopefully a couple of them, 10, another couple of years, maybe end of next year, and you'll be looking for a title?
Yeah, something like that. Probably end of next year, start of the following year after that, and then we'll start pushing. I'm only still 20 years old, but I've got 6 behind me now, and I've started fighting undefeated fighters already. So if I can keep the ball rolling like that, I'm in a good place to push for a title.
In that 18 months, kind of, your pro career, you're such a different fighter now, haven't you? Just like, it is kind of, you was a boy then and now you're a man, is that fair to say?
Yeah, exactly that. I've progressed well, I've always stayed in the gym, and that's why I've always been active. I've had 2 fights this year, I have another one in October, please God out again at the end of the year, but just main thing is, as long as I'm injury free, Eddie knows that I'll fight on any show possible, so injury free, I sell a good ticket and we're having it. So yeah, 6-0 at the minute. By the end of next year, it'd be nice to stay undefeated, 12-0, and keep pushing on.
Still sticking at light heavy, or are we moving up to cruiser? Undecided yet?
I think, yeah, still undecided. Next fight's light heavyweight. But yeah, the more I develop, the more I'll push through the weights and things like that. But at the minute, we're at light heavy, and we'll see how we go.
It's a stacked division, light heavy, obviously. You got big names, Buatsi, Yard. You've got Arthur coming back this weekend, and big fight, Bivol against Ramirez. Who's your pick then to go up and kind of take a title off of Beterbiev or Bivol?
Listen, in the light heavyweight division, Beterbiev, I think, is penultimately the best fighter I've seen in a long while, and he's going to take some beating. But the only man I see actually beating him is Callum Smith, and I mean that. I rank Callum up there, either 1 or 2, and yeah, I think, in my opinion, it'll be Smith or Beterbiev ruling the division. Like you say, you've got a good mixture of fighters. You've got Buatsi in there, you've got Bivol, people like that. But honestly, I think Callum Smith's going to shock a few people with his size of him and the way he can punch. Big.
You've got to take a lot away from Callum Smith, haven't you? The tall, rangy style of his boxing, you've got to be watching a lot of him.
Yeah, 100%. He's 6'3", but he uses his size, but he has a scrap as well. He can fight on the inside very well. I think, if anything, Callum Smith's one of the best inside fighters there is, and he's 6'3" frame, so he's a great talent. And yeah, I think that'd be the best fight in the light heavyweight division to watch, be Beterbiev Smith.
Excellent. Let's move on to some of the big news in boxing, because it has been a big week of boxing news. Start off with kind of the headline: Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury. It's looking as close as ever, isn't it?
Yeah, it's hopefully going to be nailed on for December. It's a quick turnaround, but what a fight for us fans! Do you know what I mean? It's going to be unreal. Personally, I think Fury would be too big, too awkward, and he's got that bit of momentum coming. Anthony obviously coming off a loss, but listen, you never know. Styles make fighters. Just because Joshua lost against Usyk, don't mean he's gonna lose to Fury. So it's gonna be a good fight. But in my opinion, I think Fury drains him, lays on him, cuddles him, ties him up, does everything to make his life hard, and then as a big finish in the later rounds.
We don't know the situation with the broadcasters yet, but obviously Joshua signed long-term deal with DAZN. Fury, we know, is with BT, but that's a potential slot for you on the undercard. If the DAZN side comes on, how good would that be?
Exactly. If DAZN comes through, I'd love to be on an undercard like that. Fury, I've looked up to since baby. Probably Fury was my idol growing up, and then to be on Anthony Joshua undercard as well, Olympic champion back in the day, and the things what he's achieved would be an unbelievable card. So I'd definitely be knocking on Eddie's door for that.
100%. Another big news story, kind of Chris Eubank Senior in the headlines, calling out for his son to pull out of the fight, weight issues. We speak a lot about weight in all of our interviews. Obviously, we know you're young, you're big, you're going to be moving up through the weights. Knowing how dangerous it can be through the weights, what do you think of Senior's comments?
I think to be honest with you, I think he's dead right. If what he said isn't just for publicity and it is the God's honest truth, like, he's right, because the weight what Eubank's going to have to get down to is the weight he weighed when he was 17, 18 year old. He was a kid, and obviously developing into a man, you put on a lot of mass, but it's got to be safe. I think the biggest problem is the rehydration clause. I think he can make the weight. If he's allowed to put on 12 pounds or even more than that, then it'd be fine, because you can rehydrate and get back to where you need to be. But I believe it's £5, am I right? A £5 clause in it, so it's not enough. Like, let's be honest, he's a big man and he's cutting enough as it is. So £5 is still going to be dangerous. Time he has a couple bottles of water, the weight's going to be on there. So yeah, it's got to be looked at. But listen, if Eubank thinks he can do it, it's some big money on the line, and he should go and do it.
What do you make of Chris Junior coming out then, kind of eating KFC, eating donuts? I'm sure if he was on social media doing that, Sonny wouldn't be too happy.
Yeah, exactly. He's gone for the what's the word? Like he's don't really know what the word is. He's taking the piss a bit, and do you know what I mean? And that's the kind of approach he's took. It's all mind games at the end of the day. He probably had a bit of chicken and spat it out around the corner. Do you know what I mean? But listen, one piece of KFC chicken ain't going to kill no one. Do you know what I mean? But it's all publicity, that is, Joe, I think, in my opinion. But I rate Conor Benn. I'm a massive fan of Conor Benn, but that sort of size difference can play a massive factor.
What's your prediction then for that fight?
I want Conor Benn to win, but if Eubank makes the weight and somehow can remain strong at the weight, I think Eubank wins, yeah.
Is that a danger though? Because with the rehydration, you said that's more of a concern, but we know with the fluid in between the skull and not being given the chance to fully rehydrate, because I think we don't actually know when the second weigh-in is going to be, but even if it's 11:30, that's not long to kind of get fully rehydrated.
It's nothing, exactly that. It's that second weigh-in is nothing, because at this level, these boys are going to have a bottle of water, and that's a pound. And if you've got no water in your system because you've dehydrated to make the weight originally, you need 3 litres at least. And before you know it, you haven't even had a piece of food and you're £5 over. So it's going to be a struggle for you, mate. But listen, if he's an athlete, if he wants to do it, he will do that. And if he wants to do it the right way, he'll do it the right way.
So if kind of Jake Paul come knocking and said, we want this massive fight with John Hedges, but he's can't rehydrate to over £5, do you think Mark would let you?
Mark wouldn't have the choice. The money that paperwork would be saying, I'd be taking it, and we're going to have a good holiday after. A good holiday, a good bit of food and a good drink.
You could retire on that one.
Exactly that, Joe. Listen, boxing's my passion, but we're all in it for the money as well. So something like that come along, you'd have to take it.
Definitely, and another huge fight this weekend, Canelo Triple G3, the trilogy. It's the major topic of conversation. What do you make of the fight? Will you be watching it? Yeah,
I'll be watching. Well, it's an early morning job, but if I can watch it, I will watch it. In my opinion, it's Canelo's one to win this. Obviously, the last 2 fights have been controversial and things like that, but I think GG might have been in the game too long now. But it's still going to be a good fight. He's no walkover, do you know what I mean? But I see Canelo taking him out late rounds.
Finally, John, I got in bed last Monday night. Thought, let's stick on a bit of in-betweeners or something, go on to all 4, and I looked through and I was like, hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. Who's that handsome fella? Is that John? So, just want to say, little Channel 4 showdown.
Yeah, exactly. Do you know what? It's I'm with a talent agency called All Star Talent, and they gave me a phone call about this TV show sort of thing ages ago now. Before my full fight, I think. It was, yeah, because they videoed my full fight on it. So before my full fight, and I said, yeah, why not? Listen, there was a local television company sort of thing doing it. jumped on it, and yeah, there wasn't a pain, and exposure's exposure at the end of the day. I had to get myself out there, so bit of that, bit of this, and yeah, it was good.
You're a television star before your 7th fight.
God, Joe, mate, I was cringing out, mate. I was cringing watching that, but listen, it's exposure. You've got to get yourself out there.
You certainly have. I haven't watched it yet, but I'll let you know how cringy it is.
Don't watch it either. Listen, anyone watching this, don't watch it.
I thought you wanted the exposure.
I want the exposure, but I've took enough stick for the exposure now.
Brilliant. John, hopefully see you in the ring sometime in October. Get that 7th win, then move on to bigger and better things.
Exactly, Joe. Yeah, thank you to all my sponsors as always. New one on board, Castor, Sean Curran. I've got Pro Stone Probert, Jack Louis Barber's always hitting me up, and Brack Contracts. Adam, thank you, boys. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much, John. Hopefully speak to you again soon, mate.
Cheers, Joe. Thank you very much, mate.
Cheers.
Yeah, I put my dad in the street against a heavyweight.
I've gone back to the dad. I've punched him a few more times.
5 blokes outside my front door. Can you come and help
One
me?
hell of a fucking story, so stay tuned.